The hippopotamus. The name means river horse, a gentle-sounding title for one of Africa's most dangerous animals. In the Valley of Shadows, they are the undisputed masters of the water. During the scorching heat of the day, they congregate in large groups known as pods in the murky depths of the river. Only their eyes, ears, and nostrils are visible above the surface, like small living islands. They seem peaceful, almost lazy, as they yawn and snort, their massive bodies submerged in the cool, life-giving water. But this apparent calm is a carefully constructed illusion, a mask that hides a fiercely territorial and aggressive nature. These creatures are superbly adapted to their aquatic world. Their skin needs to stay moist, so they spend most of their daylight hours in the water or mud. This is their sanctuary, their fortress. Within this domain, the pod is governed by a strict social hierarchy, led by a dominant bull. He jealously guards his stretch of the river and his harem of females. Any perceived challenge, whether from a rival hippo or another creature entirely, is met with astonishing speed and aggression. Their immense size, with males weighing over 3,000 pounds, makes them a formidable presence that few dare to provoke in their own element. The danger of the hippo lies in its unpredictability and its immense power. That comical-looking yawn is not a sign of tiredness. It is a threat display. It reveals a cavernous mouth armed with enormous canine and incisor teeth. These tusks are not for eating plants. They are weapons, capable of biting a 10-foot crocodile in half or puncturing the side of a small boat with ease. On land, despite their cumbersome appearance, they can run at speeds of up to 30 kilometers per hour, faster than a human. This combination of size, power, and surprising speed makes them an animal to be respected, and more importantly, to be feared. At night, the valley transforms, and so do the hippos. Under the cover of darkness, they leave the safety of the river to graze. They can travel for several kilometers in search of the short grasses they prefer, consuming up to 40 kilograms in a single night. This is when they are at their most vulnerable, away from their aquatic stronghold. It is also when they are most likely to encounter the other powerful inhabitants of the valley. The nightly journey for food is a necessary risk, a time when the master of the river must contend with the masters of the land. The Valley of Shadows is home to a formidable cast of predators, each one a master of its own hunting technique. The most ancient and patient of these is the Nile crocodile. These prehistoric reptiles are the other giants of the river, sharing the same watery world as the hippos. They lie in wait, perfectly camouflaged, their bodies looking like floating logs. With eyes and nostrils positioned on top of their heads, they can remain almost completely submerged while watching the riverbank for an unsuspecting victim. Their power is explosive, a sudden burst of speed and a bone-crushing bite that has changed little in millions of years. On the sun-baked plains that stretch out from the riverbanks, a different kind of hunter reigns. The lions of the valley form powerful prides, their social structure giving them the strength to tackle large and dangerous prey. A lone lion might hesitate, but a coordinated group is a lethal force. They are masters of the ambush, using the cover of darkness or the tall grasses to stalk their targets. Their raw power, combined with sharp claws and teeth, makes them the apex predator of the terrestrial world. They watch the hippos' nightly grazing excursions with keen interest, always calculating the risk versus the reward. Another sound often pierces the night air, the eerie, laughing cackle of the spotted hyena. Often underestimated and dismissed as mere scavengers, hyenas are incredibly successful predators in their own right. They hunt in large, intelligent clans, their endurance and powerful jaws allowing them to bring down prey much larger than themselves. They are opportunists, quick to exploit any sign of weakness. A lone hippo, a calf separated from its mother, or an old individual struggling to keep up. These are the opportunities the hyena clan waits for with unnerving patience and chilling cooperation. These three predators, the crocodile, the lion, and the hyena, form a triangle of danger that surrounds the hippos. They are a constant presence, a persistent threat that shapes the hippos' behavior. The crocodiles challenge them in the water, the lions challenge them on land, and the hyenas are a threat to the young and the weak everywhere. Each predator has its own strategy, its own strengths. The valley is a chessboard, and every night the pieces move. The struggle for survival here is not a simple duel. It is a complex, multi-layered conflict where danger can emerge from any direction. The river is a shared kingdom, but it is not one of peace. Conflicts between hippos and Nile crocodiles are common and incredibly violent. While a fully grown hippo is too large for even the biggest crocodile to tackle, the young calves are a different story. A mother hippo must be constantly vigilant. A moment's distraction is all a crocodile needs. It will slide silently through the water, targeting a calf that has strayed just a few feet from its mother's side. The attack is swift and brutal, a sudden lunge from the murky depths, aiming to drag the small hippo under the surface to drown. The response from the hippopod is immediate and ferocious. A calf's distress call triggers a coordinated and terrifying defensive reaction. The mother will charge, her massive mouth agape, aiming to crush the reptile with her powerful jaws and immense weight. Other hippos in the pod will join the fray, churning the water into a chaotic froth. They will bite, crush, and trample the crocodile, their collective fury overwhelming the solitary predator. It is a testament to the strength of their social bonds and a chilling display of the power that lies beneath their placid exterior. More often than not, the crocodile is forced to retreat, lucky to escape with its life. However, the outcome is not always in the hippo's favor. A large, experienced bull crocodile knows how to choose its moment. It might wait for a hippo to be isolated or injured. There are accounts of huge crocodiles successfully taking down adult female hippos, especially if the hippo is caught in a narrow channel where its ability to maneuver is limited. The battle is a gruesome spectacle of raw power, with the crocodile's infamous death roll pitted against the hippo's crushing bite. The river often runs red during these epic confrontations between the two titans of the water. This ongoing war creates a tense and uneasy balance in the river. The hippos, through sheer numbers and brute force, generally dominate the central, deeper parts of their aquatic home. The crocodiles patrol the edges, the shallows, and the crossing points, always probing for weakness. They are like two ancient dynasties vying for control, their territories overlapping in a constant state of armed truce. Each species shapes the other's existence, a constant reminder that in the Valley of Shadows, even a giant cannot afford to be complacent. The king of the river must always watch his back. When darkness falls and the hippos venture onto the land to graze, they enter a different world, one ruled by the lion. For a pride of lions, a full-grown hippo represents an enormous meal, enough to feed them for days. But attacking such a creature is one of the greatest gambles a lion can take. A hippo out of water is still a formidable opponent. Its sheer bulk, surprising speed, and lethal jaws make it a fortress of muscle and aggression. A single charge from an angry hippo can crush a lion's bones, and one bite can be instantly fatal. The lions must rely on strategy, teamwork, and the element of surprise. They will often target a hippo that has wandered far from the safety of the river, isolating it from the rest of the pod. The hunt is a carefully coordinated effort. Some lionesses will create a distraction, while others will attempt to attack from the rear, aiming for the hind legs to try and slow the animal down. It is a chaotic and dangerous dance. The lions must be nimble, dodging the hippo's furious charges, while trying to land effective blows with their claws and teeth, searching for a way to get a killing grip on the throat or muzzle. Success is far from guaranteed. Many such hunts end in failure, with the lions retreating, sometimes with serious injuries. The hippo's thick hide provides excellent protection, and its stamina is immense. It will fight with incredible ferocity, spinning and charging to keep the lions at bay. Often, its primary goal is simply to make it back to the water. If the hippo can reach the river's edge, it gains the advantage. Once submerged, it is in its element, and the lions are powerless to follow. The pride is left hungry, their risky gamble having failed to pay off. Yet sometimes, the pride succeeds. If they can manage to wear the hippo down, to inflict enough injuries and exhaust it, they can eventually bring the giant to the ground. This is a monumental achievement, a testament to the lion's power and coordination. The kill will draw predators from all over the valley, a feast that echoes the lion's status as the kings of the land. But each hunt is a reminder of the high stakes involved. Attacking a hippo is a desperate measure, a battle of titans that showcases the brutal reality of life and death on the African plains. The spotted hyena is the valley's ultimate opportunist. While lions might gamble on bringing down a healthy adult hippo, hyenas typically play a different game. They're masters of endurance and attrition, and their strategy is built around identifying and exploiting weakness. Their primary targets are not the powerful bull hippos, but the vulnerable. A newborn calf, separated from its mother during the nightly grazing, is a perfect target. A clan of hyenas will work together with chilling efficiency to isolate the calf, their numbers and persistence overwhelming the frantic mother's defenses. These encounters are deeply distressing. The hyena clan will surround the mother and calf, their eerie calls filling the night air, creating confusion and panic. Some hyenas will harry the mother, nipping at her heels and flanks, forcing her to turn and charge. While she is distracted, others will lunge at the calf. The mother hippo is a furious defender, and she will fight with all her might. But against a large and determined clan, she can become overwhelmed. It's a battle of one incredibly powerful individual against the collective strength and cunning of a highly social predator. Hyenas also play the long game. They're patient observers. They will watch the hippopods, taking note of any individual that appears old, sick, or injured. A hippo with a limp from a fight with a rival, or one weakened by disease, becomes a marked animal. The clan will shadow the weakened hippo, sometimes for days, waiting for it to become exhausted. They will test its defenses with short, sharp attacks, probing for the moment when it can no longer fight back effectively. Their persistence is relentless, a slow, grinding pressure that eventually wears down even a giant. Their powerful jaws, designed to crush bone, also make them formidable scavengers. A hippo that dies of natural causes, or is killed by lions or crocodiles, quickly becomes a magnet for every hyena in the area. The ensuing scene is one of frantic competition. The hyenas will gorge themselves, their powerful digestive systems able to process skin, bone, and anything else left behind. In this way, they are the valley's cleanup crew, ensuring that nothing goes to waste. Whether as hunters or scavengers, the hyenas are a constant, influential force, shaping the hippo's world through their relentless and opportunistic nature. The Valley of Shadows is not just perilous for the hippos. Every animal that lives here exists on a knife's edge, in a delicate and often brutal balance. The predators themselves face constant danger. A lion on a hunt for a buffalo or a giraffe risks being gored or kicked, injuries that can be a death sentence. A solitary crocodile can be overwhelmed and killed by a herd of wildebeest during a river crossing if it misjudges its attack. Even the hyenas, for all their strength in numbers, can fall victim to the lions who see them as rivals for food and will kill them without hesitation. The environment itself is a formidable adversary. The valley is prone to extreme weather patterns. During the dry season, the river shrinks, becoming a series of disconnected pools. This concentrates the animals, forcing hippos and crocodiles into dangerously close quarters, leading to an increase in territorial disputes. Food becomes scarce, and the weaker animals begin to starve. The intense competition for the remaining resources pushes every creature to its absolute limit, and the landscape becomes littered with the casualties of thirst and hunger. Life becomes a desperate daily struggle for survival. Then, the rains come. The valley is transformed by violent storms, and the river can swell into a raging torrent. The flash floods can be devastating, washing away nests, drowning young animals, and changing the landscape in an instant. Animals that have survived the drought can be swept away by the very water they so desperately needed. The floods can also bring disease. Anthrax spores, dormant in the dry soil, can be released by the rains, leading to deadly outbreaks that can decimate populations of hippos, zebras, and other herbivores. The valley gives life, but it can also take it away with shocking speed. This constant state of peril ensures that no single species can ever achieve total dominance. The lions are kept in check by the sheer danger of their prey. The crocodiles are limited by the seasons and the collective power of the herds. The hippos are vulnerable on land, and their calves are always at risk. Every creature is part of a complex web of interdependence and conflict. This balance, forged by danger and scarcity, is what makes the valley so wild and so dynamic. It's a true wilderness, a place that has not been tamed, where the ancient rules of nature still apply to all. In this theater of giants where hippos, lions, and crocodiles clash, it is easy to focus on the spectacular displays of power. We see the crushing jaws, the sharp claws, and the sheer size of these magnificent animals. We measure strength in terms of weight and fighting ability, but perhaps the true ruler of the Valley of Shadows is not an animal at all. Maybe it's something far more powerful, something that dictates the fate of every creature within these ancient escarpments. The true ruler is the environment itself, the river, the climate, the land. It's the river that decides where the hippos can live and where the crocodiles can hunt. Its seasonal rise and fall dictates the rhythm of life for all who depend on it. When it flows generously, there is peace and plenty. When it shrinks to a muddy trickle, it becomes a crucible of conflict, forcing desperate animals into deadly confrontations. The river holds the ultimate power, the power to give and the power to take away. It's the stage upon which the entire drama of the valley unfolds, and its whim can change the plot in an instant. It's the climate that determines the abundance of food. The coming of the rains brings new grass for the grazing hippos, which in turn provides sustenance for the lions that hunt them. A failed rainy season means starvation, not just for the herbivores, but for the predators who depend on them. The relentless sun and the nourishing rain are the unseen forces that govern the great cycles of life and death. They are the puppet masters, pulling the strings of fortune for every lion, hyena, crocodile, and hippo in the valley. Their influence is absolute and inescapable. Ultimately, every animal, no matter how strong, is subject to these greater forces. A powerful bull hippo, the master of his stretch of river, is still just a tenant. A dominant pride of lions, kings of the savannah, can be brought low by a drought that drives away their prey. In this perilous paradise, true power is not held by the creatures themselves, but by the world they inhabit. The valley itself, with its unpredictable river, its cycles of drought and flood, and its unforgiving sun, is the ultimate arbiter of life and death, the silent and undisputed sovereign. So who is the true king of this wild and dangerous place? Is it the lion, whose roar echoes across the plains, a symbol of terrestrial power and coordinated might? The pride's ability to hunt as a team allows them to challenge even the largest of prey, earning them the title of apex predator on land. Yet their reign is conditional. They are powerless at the river's edge when their quarry escapes into the water, and their success is entirely dependent on the availability of the prey herds, which are themselves governed by the seasons and the rains. Their crown, it seems, rests on an unsteady head. Or is it the crocodile, the ancient reptile that has patrolled these waters since the time of the dinosaurs? Its patience is legendary, and its explosive ambush is a masterclass in predatory efficiency. The crocodile is a silent monarch of the shallows, a creature of immense power that commands fear and respect. But its kingdom is limited to the water. On land, it is clumsy and vulnerable, and even in its own domain, it must contend with the collective fury of the hippopod, a force that can easily overwhelm a solitary hunter. Its rule is potent but geographically confined. Then we must consider the hippopotamus. By day, it is the undisputed master of the deep water, its sheer size and aggressive territoriality creating a fortress that few dare to penetrate. By night, it is a formidable force on land, capable of defending itself against an entire pride of lions. It is both a grazer and a warrior, a creature that bridges the two worlds of land and water. Its influence is immense, shaping the very ecology of the river and standing as a symbol of raw, untamed power. Yet it is constantly under siege, its young are vulnerable, and it is a slave to the river's whims. After observing the great struggles of this valley, the answer becomes clear. There is no single king. The Valley of Shadows is a realm of shared power, a kingdom with multiple thrones. The lion is the king of the savannah, the crocodile is the king of the river's edge, and the hippo is the king of the river's heart. Each is a titan within its own domain, yet each is limited and challenged by the others. The true ruler is the valley itself, but among its living creatures, power is a dynamic and ever-shifting balance. It's this very struggle for dominance, this constant dramatic showdown, that makes this place one of the most compelling and dangerous on Earth.